Well, obviously this is a huge evening for all of us, and we're all extremely proud of this team that gave everything tonight from the first second on. Their effort, how they kind of were dedicated, how they were helping each other. The crowd, unbelievable, amazing crowd here in Columbus. Kind of pushed these guys. We had some critical moments first half where Mexico had some opportunities, but I think second half we controlled the entire game, and obviously they're enjoying this moment. It's a special moment when you qualify for a World Cup, and they really deserve it.
Stephen Goff.
Jurgen, can you just kind of describe the scene after your game ended and before?
Well, we're all watching the Honduras-Panama game in the locker room, and yeah, we're just waiting for this moment when the game is over and Panama came back last minute. Yeah, it's a huge milestone whenever you make it to the World Cup, the biggest competition in the sport, and especially a World Cup that is hosted in Brazil, one of the biggest soccer nations in the world. And I mean, it means a lot to all of us, to all the fans, and to our country as well.
We're going to go over to Steve Davis. Steve, hang on just 1 second.
Sorry, does this change your approach going forward in the last two World Cup qualifiers?
No, I mean, this is serious stuff, World Cup qualifying, and you need to use those games in the right way. You know, it's not that we have many preparation games then for the World Cup, so we take this very seriously. The last two games, we want to beat Jamaica and we want to go into Panama and beat Panama. So we take this very seriously. So it doesn't change anything in terms of compromising players or whatsoever. You know, this is business.
Come back over here to Ron Blum.
Looking back over the last 25, 26 months, how has the team changed and grown as you look at it and the different aspects?
Well, I mean, I can only speak for those 25, 26 months. I think, you know, we managed to bring along a lot of players that show us hopefully a bright future. You know, a lot of talent that we kind of carried through, even through a negative experience with, like, not qualifying for the Olympics. But we still kind of kept a close eyes on those kids as well, and we deepened the roster. I think we have more players now than we had 2 years ago to pull from, that we have the feeling they're going to come in, even on standby, no problem. They get the job done, like you see Clarence Goodson today, like he was already with us in Costa Rica, no big deal, but we knew that. That's why we kind of managed the situation like that. So I think that we step by step getting closer to take the game to the opponents. You know, that we're not, you know, sitting back and react to whatever happens. No, we want to take it into their half. Every game is different, we know that too, but I think we made big progress in terms of tactical variation and in terms of commitment both ways of the game, defensively and offensively. And the players know it only goes through hard work, it only goes through a lot of effort, and certain things that kind of maybe 2 years ago they wondered, oh no, what is this all about? All this extra work, all this extra here, extra there. Now it's just normal. Now it's just normal. The players come in, they know there are double sessions waiting for them. You know, the players know what we expect tactically. The players know, you know, that there's another guy behind them in every position, that if he doesn't give everything he has, the next one steps in and steals him his spot. Therefore, there's more competition than before, and I think, you know, if you look at the entire picture, they can be really proud of themselves.
Ivis.
Jurgen, this is obviously one of the more challenging games for you with the players that were missing. You had some veterans step up today, and Landon, Tim Howard, and then obviously Jermaine Jones. Can you talk about what they were able to do tonight and how important they were leading the way tonight?
Oh, they're extremely important. You know, they're experienced players, you know, like these guys. They played those games before. They know what it's all about. And I told them over the last couple of days that I expect their leadership. You know, I expect them to kind of carry us through difficult moments. You know, whatever happens. You know, we had some difficult moments in Costa Rica, and they took it on. Landon took it on. Clarence, Timmy, Eddie Johnson with his way to go into those balls. I told him, in halftime, I said, you're gonna get another one. You gotta just stay hungry for it and wait for it, and you're gonna get that opportunity. And no, it is important, but it's also important that they understand, that age doesn't really matter. What matters is, that they give everything they have, and that they're here to compete, no matter what. And they were ready to compete tonight.
Yes, Jurgen, is it even more gratifying to overcome all the yellow cards and the injury of Michael Bradley to get this to this point?
Oh, can you say that again?
Is it even more gratifying to overcome all the yellow cards and the injury of Michael Bradley tonight to get there?
I think absolutely for the group, yeah, because having one of your leaders not there and going down in Costa Rica 2 minutes before the kickoff, and then the yellow cards that you all saw and we all talked about. It is important that you see then a group kind of sticking together and be there for each other, and that's what they've done. So I think it takes it to another level than when you have those moments that they kind of really stand their man when it gets tough.
Jurgen, right here.
Andrew, go ahead.
6 months ago, Landon Donovan was kind of out in the wilderness with the national team. It didn't know what was going to happen with him. Now he has a goal and assist in the game that qualifies for you. Are you at the point where you have to have him on the field for this team if he's healthy?
Well, we always said that Landon is an important part of our team, and the things that he went through, that was his decision, and we were totally fine with that. But he also had to understand that he's not getting anything for granted. He has to work his way back. He has to fight his way back, and that was he did. That's what he did, with the Gold Cup to start with, and now coming here. He understands the message clearly that nobody has a spot guaranteed. No matter. It's all down to performance. Every game is down to performance. So that's why we doubled the positions. That's why we kind of have a deeper pool now. That's why they put pressure on every starter. And every game, gives us new challenges, and he understood that. He's smart. He understands the moment, and what he did tonight was big because not only with his experience and then scoring the goal, it was also that he understood in certain moments to chase back and help defend and do all that work that is necessary on an international level if you want to succeed. If you have two guys up front that don't want to turn around and chase people back, you're not getting very far.
Leander.
Hi, Jurgen. Over here.
Yeah.
Sorry if this has been asked already. I just walked in. But was it important psychologically to clinch today rather than to have to wait another month?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. We always said we want to get this done as quickly as possible. And we were upset with Costa Rica, with that game. However it went, but then we couldn't change it anymore. Once they scored that third goal, the deal was done there. No, it is important. It is important because it makes a lot of things easier for us, federation side to plan things now ahead. We can finalize things, for Brazil. We can look at friendly games in November, all that stuff. So that is, it's important, definitely.
Grant in the back.
Hey, Jurgen, congratulations. Wanted to ask, and maybe this has been asked before back here.
I am looking.
Yeah, way in the back.
It's really difficult.
As far as just this team and getting through in Columbus, is there something special about this ground here that gets into the heads of the U.S. players in a positive way and maybe in the Mexican heads in a negative way?
Oh, absolutely, I believe so. I think, the players, when they know they play in Columbus, that they have 100% support behind them. It carries them, it gives them energy, it gives them confidence. And the other thing is then, your opponent that hasn't won here for quite a while knows the difficult situation as well. So it is a psychological game at the end of the day, and I think you could feel it in the body language of the Mexican players once they didn't get a goal that they tried really hard for the first 20-25 minutes. They got heavier and heavier, and you could see that psychological load in their minds that they start to doubt themselves. The first touch was often not there anymore from players that usually have a fantastic first touch. So it is absolutely, there's a psychological element in place here in Columbus, and it's definitely on our side.
Just in front of Grant there, Jurgen.
Yes, Jurgen, you talked about the importance of this team having no guaranteed positions. After Friday night, one of its tougher games, did you at all doubt that Tim Howard was the right guy for goalkeeper tonight?
No, there's no doubts. We have no doubts about any player. You know, I mean, players make mistakes like all of us make mistakes. So when there's a situation, maybe you can discuss a goal. You know, should he have come out? You know, at the third goal, or you know, or in other moments, whatever. You know, we analyze things, we talk to the players about it, and we want to correct whatever mistakes we made. That's what we did with the Costa Rica game. You know, we swallowed it. You know, we talked about it. We showed them the video clips. And we wanted to make sure we're not making the same mistake again. So no, we don't doubt the players. The players always have the support from us.
Last one, Doug McIntyre.
Jurgen, congrats. I know it's about the big picture, and I know it's about the World Cup next summer, and I know it's about the group. But how satisfying is this for you personally to have gotten to this stage, to have qualified the team? What does it mean to you personally?
Oh, it means a lot to me too. Like it means to all of us. You know, to the players, to the federation, to everybody working here in this environment, to you guys as well as the fans. You know, a qualifying campaign is a very difficult road, and we knew that. You know, and I did that myself as a player and not as a coach then with Germany, but I went through difficult moments. And I told you, you know, when we started the first round, that I almost didn't go to the World Cup 1990, that I ended up winning. If it wasn't for the last game, you know, that we won, then. So it is a special moment, and we coaches enjoy that the same way as the players do, and we're proud of that.